And mediators in the ongoing Kenyan doctors' pay dispute now have 7 more days to continue with negotiations. The Court of Appeal granted the Law Society of Kenya, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the extra time after the parties failed to reach a consensus. Talks over the doctors' pay dispute resumed this afternoon as the Trade Union Congress of Kenya blamed the Salaries and Remuneration Commission for the current pile of labor disputes.
After the lapse of 7 days, the Court of Appeal granted for negotiations to resolve the doctors' pay dispute. Mediators in the stalemate were back in court, but without a solution.
There are still some pending issues which the mediators would like to lead the parties on.
Appearing before a 3-judge bench led by Lady Justice Hannah Okwengu, the parties in the dispute were divided on how much time they needed to conclude negotiations.
Mediators were requesting that, with the leave of the court, if they can have 7 more days so that we can wrap this whole issue up.
My client is only willing to give probably 2 days. 2 days for further mediation.
We are mindful of the fact that there is a lot of suffering being experienced in the public health sector and that there is need for the outstanding issues to be resolved as soon as possible. It is, however, necessary to give the mediators adequate time. We would therefore give the mediators another 7 days to explore resolution of the outstanding issues.
Details of the progress made in the talks, which have collapsed several times, were not revealed, with parties in the negotiations citing confidentiality.
The report filed with the court should remain confidential for purposes of the court's consumption and not for publication. It will help the mediators and it will also help the parties. We have had situations whereby there has been some misreporting on the mediation process, and it is not in the interest of the parties themselves or in the interest of the mediators.
We are removing the reports and giving them back to you. So take responsibility for any leakage.
A remedy to the doctors' pay dispute is proving hard to diagnose, but the Trade Unions Congress of Kenya says it may have identified the cause.
There is only one devil to the labor relations. Only one devil, and it is in the Constitution, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. It has to be eventually be done away with.
The doctor's strike is now in its 81st day. Rita Tinina, KTN News.